What's up, guys, and welcome back to PooseBoss. And today's topic, virginity, an exclusive look at how virginity works. No, just kidding. And we're gonna get in depth, and we're gonna talk about, well, the double standard of sex, and is the reason we kind of have this double standard all come from, well, the idea of virginity and that it makes a woman pure. Let's get into it. I'm liking these noises for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, my bad. I'm just working things around. You've tuned into PooseBoss, where we talk sex, dating, relationships, and all things pussy. As always, I'm your host, the PooseBoss. And, you know, it's funny. I was talking about virginity in the first episode of this week. If you haven't listened, you should. Sorry, I'm in LA, so, you know, noises, helicopters, all that shit all the time. It's really loud, though. I don't know what it is. Oh, God. But my idea of being a virgin was actually, like, really important to me. Being a virgin had, like, so much weight when I was younger. And so I wanted to kind of just hit a little bit of how I guess it makes me feel, and to see if anybody else in this world feels the same fucking way. Yeah, that's actually probably the truth. So when I was looking into it, I was actually surprised because I didn't even ever ask myself, like, where did the term virginity actually come from? And who made it kind of regular? So virginity served in the medieval times as a form of basically a paternity test, right? So before there was birth control, obviously people could not take... Hold on, something just happened. I'm gonna take a pause. All right, guys, I'm back, and I don't really know where I was, to be honest, but let me just tell you what just happened, because I think this is exactly why we have PooseBoss. So my roomie came out, and I looked over, and something was wrong. I was like, oh God, oh Lord, what happened, right? Especially after I heard those, like, loud noises, I don't know. So she starts crying because of her period. And you know, this is what men will never understand. It's like this weird place you get yourself in, where in your head you're like, what the fuck? I want to kill everybody, but I'm trying to be nice, but everyone's trying to fucking irritate me, and it's not even their fault. And I know I'm acting crazy, I know I sound crazy, but this happens to me all the time. Well, actually, once a fucking month. And I've been dealing with it since, I don't know, 13. So yeah, I'm stressed a lot, and I just want to cry, and I want someone to listen to me. So yeah, I stopped everything I was doing because, you know, I've been there, look crazy, and been alone. So get it. Anyways, we were talking about female virginity, or actually just virginity, because you can have male and female virginity. But how in the medieval times that actually virginity was kind of considered a paternity test. It was really important because they wanted to keep the bloodlines going, right? Which makes sense. Bloodlines are important, right? If you, like, you know, love conspiracy theories, bloodlines really matter. And so it was through also religion that sexuality, in a sense, was made shameful and taboo outside of marriage. Again, control over your, you know, goodies. Now, I will say that I don't believe, I mean, I've read the Bible multiple times, but I haven't read it in a long time, so I can't really quote it anymore. It's not something I've read in probably years. But I don't believe it says, you know, man or woman, like, as far as when it says you should not have sex before marriage. I'm pretty sure it just says you should not have sex before marriage, not the woman should not. But I definitely do feel that if you think about it, let's just talk about the Virgin Mary. The Virgin Mary, the most purest woman, the most beautiful, purest woman ever to step foot on earth, right? Because, well, she had a baby without never, ever having a dick inside her. And I feel like so many people are gonna get mad for me saying it like that, but that's just the truth. I mean, I gotta break it down. Some people might not want to even listen to this. So if I break it down this way, they might keep, you know, going and get some education. So the thing was is that at that point, right, in medieval times, contraception itself was, well, unattainable. So it was really important for women to remain virgins, right? Also, if you don't know this, when you have sex as a virgin, you break your hymen, so you'll bleed. So in some cultures, if you don't bleed, that can automatically assume that you are not pure, that you are, I guess, what we would call a slut, or at least what people would call a slut. And, you know, sometimes it's not even true. Sometimes you are pure and your just body is not meant like that. Me personally, didn't happen that way. Lots of blood. I know a lot of people don't want to know that, but I remember it. But you know, in some cultures, it definitely is important for the woman to marry and be pure or a virgin in order to not shame the families, right? Again, back to the bloodlines, making sure that you know who, I guess, baby you're having. And if you were to marry and dishonor your family, well, that is a huge, huge thing in certain cultures. Many societies actually bring shame and dishonor to your family, even if you were raped, just because it's like I think it's more like a no talk, no see rule, you know? It's like how people, well, I can actually relate to this, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm American, so in American culture, I mean, there was definitely, I felt shame from people within my family when it happened to me when I was really young, and because they were embarrassed, you know, they were embarrassed, they couldn't believe it happened to me, to the person they loved. That's how their reaction was to basically make me feel shameful, and it did for many years. I mean, it definitely did. So the question is, though, are men, when they're getting married, how do we know they're virgins? There's really no check, right? We have the hymen, but how do you know if a man's a virgin? Like, seriously, you don't. I've never even thought about that. See, they could lie so easily. And the truth is, in other cultures, even here, they're not going to face the same sort of cultural consequences. What was that? The Scarlet Letter. Oh my God. Okay, again, maybe they don't teach this anymore in school, so this might be for, you know, the people more my age. But the Scarlet Letter is a perfect example of this. Oh, thank God I actually read it once. AP English, Bowie High School. What? Miss Bryce, hey, yo, what's up, Bryce? So, the Scarlet Letter, though, like, she had to wear a letter because she had, you know, I don't even remember the whole story, let me just be honest, but I remember the letter. The letter, she was so bad with the letter, and everybody must know that she was not pure, right? So it's very interesting how our culture kind of has, at one point, used virginity to keep people in line. And now, if you really think about it, I mean, I don't even ask anymore if anyone's a virgin. Like, I assume most people aren't, to be honest. I don't know many virgins, though I did just find out I know an 80-year-old virgin. I'm going to try to get an interview, I swear, but I can't guarantee anything. But what it also comes back to is that this actually creates what we call slut shaming, because it reinforces a sex negative mind based on puritanical values, right? So the value of that the women would stay pure, have the baby, be the role model, be the family, you know. I like to say family bitch, because really you do everything, right? I mean, seriously, as a woman, I feel like I am always doing everything. I'm always like trying to make sure to fill in any holes that are missing. No pun intended. Ah! So, and slut shaming doesn't allow us women to really have our sexual desires explored, because there are other constraints, such as ridiculing our behavior, right? I remember when I was raped when I was young, and I had, the way that everybody found out basically was because I told my counselor in school, because I was crying. I don't remember what I was crying about, but I was crying about something, and it was something that set me off in the sex ed class. And so I told them what happened, and they called my parents, and so we had this whole meeting, right? And we have this meeting, and then basically I'll never forget it. She looked at me, the principal, and she said, well, what were you wearing? And I was like, bitch, no, you didn't just do that to me. Because I remember thinking like, I was in a light blue windbreaker, some shorts, and tennis shoes. Doesn't sound like an outfit that screams rape me. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. From that point on, I think that's where I just like was like, fuck everybody. Maybe that's why I like to push the boundary, but I actually don't necessarily do it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I talk very sexual, but I'm such a sweetheart, you know? But yeah, it's like not losing your virginity in the culture now is almost shameful, right? Like, so if you haven't lost your virginity, then you're weird. But before, it was you were pure. So what has actually changed in our culture? Why? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm actually kind of looking for you guys to like leave it in the comments. Let me know. What do you think? Why do you think that virginity is no longer really something that seems to be discussed, nor does it seem to be prized? And do you think that it should be? Do you agree that maybe virginity is a double standard? First off, the fact that virginity is kind of, in a way, well, no, not kind of, it does promote heterosexuality as a norm and not anything else, because virginity is only a penis in vagina, which, let's be honest, if you're taking it up the ass, honestly, if you had oral sex, in my opinion, you almost there, because every time I do a blowjob, I usually end up fucking, so you lying anyways. No, just kidding. I mean, if you're getting titty jobs, foot jobs, there's so many jobs, right? So many jobs one can do. But I think that it is an interesting question, and to think, you know, in a time where do we even value marriage? And if so, you know, what do we value about marriage? And why is it that we, in a sense, are so worried, right? Like, I feel like so many people focus on people cheating, which, okay, there's a whole background to what I'm going to say, because cheating equals lying. The lying is in my opinion, the problem, right? But if we are so okay with having a partner now who is more sexually fluid, then, I mean, why aren't we more honest with ourselves with the fact that the standards we used to have, or society used to have, which was get married, have kids, be, you know, more monogamous. I mean, with Tinder and everything else, you know, you out there fucking a lot more. I mean, most people are. I don't know. I would assume so, based off my knowledge. But if that's true, then what do we really want? And why do we spend so much time trying to pretend that we want something so quote unquote pure? But maybe, you know, maybe not everything needs to be pure. Maybe sex is the one thing where that pure bitch can get down and dirty. You know what I'm saying? Down and dirty without feeling fucking bad because she's a bad bitch. I don't know where that came from. But as always, please, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, check it out. If not, make sure to check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else, because, you know, I be posting that shit everywhere. And as always, I said that twice. Make sure to remember to keep patting that puss.